Welcome to Walkers in August Yoga Prasarita series. This flow is focusing on hinging at the hip and the particular part of the Ashtanga series that is Prasarita A, B, C, and D. We'll go through a short flow including Prasarita with a slight warm-up, the A, B, C, D of the hip hinge, slight cool down. This is great to listen to as you're working on your hip hinge, that straight spine, and learning the Prasarita series. Begin in a comfortable seat. You can cross your legs one in front of another, or you could sit with your feet out in front of you so you don't have your feet on top of each other, but there's a little bit more space. Sometimes that can help so our feet don't fall asleep on us. Play with the switch on both sides. I oftentimes have my right foot in front. That's more comfortable for me and my hips, but I like to put my left in front sometimes to switch up that for my body. Hands down. We'll start with some grounding breaths, engaging our Ujjai breath. Let's take one breath to start. Breathe normally in. Through the mouth, exhale. For Ujjayi, we're in and out through the nose. Your mouth is closed, and it sounds like the ocean waves. Constricting your throat as if you're blowing in a mirror, but with your mouth closed. Try on your own so that you can hear and your neighbor can hear, but not necessarily the person across from the room. We don't need to growl. Ujjayi breathing pairs well with the Ashtanga practice because it helps create that internal heat for us. And also hearing the breath, I find, helps keep me in my breath, in my practice. And when it's cued, for example, to hold for 5 breaths, you can count the inhale and the exhale by the sounds of your breath. Let's take 3 Ujjayi breaths together. Comfortable seat, palms down on our knees. You're welcome to close your eyes, whatever is comfortable for you, but soft gaze starting to drop into our mat. Here we go, 3 Ujjayi. Continue that Ujjayi practice if that's comfortable for you. We'll start with a brief warm-up. We will be hinging at the hips, so let's get ready for that. Hands behind you, knees up to the sky, to the right, looking over your right shoulder. 3 breaths here. Inhaling, knees up to the center, your gaze follows. Exhaling to the left side, gazing over your left shoulder, 3 breaths here. Start to feel the straightening in your spine. Notice the bowl of your hips coming to the side. Inhaling, knees up, your gaze follows. Wonderful. Take a couple 90-90s to the right and left, noticing that your hips are a bowl, and if your hips were filled with water, they'd be spilling to the right and left. Also, notice a difference between your sides. Do you have a side that's tighter than the other? How does this rolling motion feel, pressing down with your hands? Let's now straighten our legs, toes to the sky. We'll take a Dandasana or staff pose. Your hands are behind you, so your fingers are pointing to your toes. Your toes are to the sky. Straight spine. Let's roll our shoulders up and back. Our gaze is gently toward our toes, pressing down with our hands, engaging our legs. This is an active practice. Gazing to your toes. Keep breathing. And release. Inhale, bring your right knee into your body. Give it a little cradle and a hug. If your hips are feeling open today, you can even rock your leg like a baby, grabbing your leg and your arm from side to side, giving yourself that little extra love, feeling our hips today. Releasing to the ground. Right leg's now straight, left leg we bring into our body. Gentle rock back and forth, hugging that leg in. And you can even rock your left leg like a baby. Treat yourself today. Legs now open like a V at the top of your mat. Your right foot is to that top right corner, left foot to the top left, toes to the sky. Inhale, gaze up, chest open. Exhale, bend, chest to the ground. Notice when you have the straight spine, you do not go as far as when you have the rounded spine. Let's keep that straight spine today, hinging from our hips, spine long. That fold is coming from your lower back. If you feel any pain, notice where you felt the pain, and then back off. Keep breathing. And release. Let's come onto all fours and do a couple cat-cows. Inhaling for cow, where we have the crown of our head up to the sky. And then exhaling for cat, we create that Halloween cat back. You can also start to notice the movement in your shoulders as we're in the cow position. Your shoulders move down your back as if they're going to kiss behind you. And then exhaling for cat, you can feel your shoulder blades move apart. Take a couple on your own, starting to get your breath into your movement. Inhaling for cow, exhaling for cat. Inhaling for cow, exhaling for cat. Pressing down with your hands, spreading your fingers wide like they're webbed fingers, and you want to spread them all the way out. Pressing down with your knees, maybe you have your toes curled. Try some barrel rolls. So that's rolling our body as if we're tracing a circle, or if we have a hula hoop, to one side and the other. Waking up our body, continuing to breathe. Sit back on your curled toes. So your toes are pointing forward. You can pull that pinky toe out to the side. We're sitting on our heels. This is toe crunchers. If this is too intense for you, you can roll your mat under your knees. That might help for some knee support. You could also release the toe crunch and sit back on your heels. There's no right or wrong way to do this. While we're in this toe cruncher, we feel that intense stretch. And we take a moment to set an intention that we are here to breathe, we are here for the challenge, and we love it. We welcome the challenge, we welcome sensations in our body, we understand the movement of our body. When we feel pain, we back off from that pain. When we learn something new, we embrace it. The attitude that you can embrace your yoga practice and you can approach your life. Embrace the challenge. Back off when you need to. That is strength. Let's release that toe cruncher and pitter-patter our feet. Sitting in the comfortable seat of your choice. I'm back on my heels right now. Let's take a moment to set an intention, bringing your palms together at your heart center. Why are you here today? I invite you to inhale for the vibration of Om. And release. Coming back onto all fours. Walk your right foot behind your right wrist, your left foot behind your left wrist, and gently come up to a standing position. This is Samastitihi, standing position at the top of your mat, about a foot back from the top of your mat. Find that equal standing in both feet. Our Prasarita series, let's do it. Inhale the right leg out to the side. Now your toes are pointing the opposite side of your mat, across your mat. Your toes are parallel to one another. Prasarita A. Inhale, roll your shoulders back, open chest. Place your hands on your hip points where you can feel your hip bones. Inhale, gaze up to the sky, open your chest. Exhale, hinge from the hips, straight spine. Crown is going toward the ground and your hands are reaching your mat. Inhale to straighten your spine, gaze to your third eye. Exhale, release. Your hands are in between your feet or behind your feet in about a 90-degree angle. Elbows can go out to the sides. Bend your knees as much as you need to in this position. We're breathing here for 5 breaths. Check your toes. Are your toes pointing forward? Press down with your hands. Gaze toward your nose. Crown to the ground. After your 5th breath, inhale, pressing down with your hands. You can move your hands forward, out from under your feet. Gaze to your third eye. Exhale, place your hand on your hip points once again. And gently come up slowly, tucking your chin on the rise. Inhale your arms out to the side. And exhale, release your hands back on your hip points for B. We have our hands on your hip points. If it's comfortable for you, you can press in on your core, your stomach a little bit, and that is a reminder to engage your Uddiyana Bandha. That's right in that solar plexus just below your navel, that source of power and confidence. Elbows are pointing back toward each other. Roll the shoulders back, and the shoulders are almost trying to kiss. Inhale, gaze up to your third eye, open your chest. Exhale, dive forward, straight spine. Lengthening. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Crown to the ground. Gazing at your navel. We're here for 5 breaths. Exhale, tuck your chin. Gently rise up. Inhale your arms out to the side. Exhale, bringing your hands behind your back, palms together, clasping your hands behind your back. If that's not comfortable for you, you can grab your elbows behind your back. Inhale, gaze up to your third eye, open your chest. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Straight spine. Start to bring your hands over your head and crown to the ground, gazing at your navel. Exhale, tuck your chin, gently come up. Release your hands. Inhale your hands out to the side. Exhale, release, hinging at the hips. Your peace fingers, so your pointer finger and middle finger, are going to grab your toes with your thumb. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Inhale, straight spine. Exhale, hinging from the hips. Elbows out to the side. We are pulling our toes up as we're pressing our toes down, pulling up with your fingers and down with your toes to feel that counterbalance. We are here for 5 breaths. Inhale, straighten your spine, look to your third eye. Exhale, tuck your chin, bring your hands to your hip points. Inhale your arms out to a T, and exhale, coming back to the top of your mat, Samastitihi. Here we are again. We'll take one gentle sun salutation into our restorative postures. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale your hands to the ground. Inhale, straight spine. Exhale, place your hands on the ground. Come into plank pose. Release belly all the way to the ground. Inhale, chest up, up dog. Exhale, down dog. We're here for 5 breaths. You can pedal out your feet. Pressing your hands toward the top of your mat, pushing your feet to the back of your mat. Gently walk right foot behind your right hand, left foot behind your left hand. Inhale, straight spine. Exhale, crown to the ground. Gently rise on an inhale, arms to the sky. Release and come down to all fours once again. Let's relax in child's pose. Your knees can be together or as wide as the mat. Sitting back on our heels, pressing our hands to the front of our mat, and allowing our forehead to come down to the mat. Stretch long and allow the spine to rest. Gently walk the hands in towards you. Swing your feet around front. We're all set up to lie back in Shavasana pose. In Shavasana, we allow ourselves to rest, one of the most important postures of the practice. Noticing our toes rest. Noticing our legs rest. Noticing our hands and our arms rest. The shoulders release tension. Gently roll your head from side to side and relax in Shavasana. Releasing your breathing. Breathe deeply and naturally. Start to come back to your breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Inhale your arms up overhead and gently fall to the right side where your right arm is long and your left hand is on the ground. Gently push yourself up into a comfortable seat. Here we are once again where we started. Palms down. Feeling gratitude for our practice, for the intensity of our stretching, and for the information that we now have about our body and how we're feeling today. Offer a loving thought to yourself, compassion to a friend, and gratitude to a stranger. Inhaling our arms up to the sky, bring your palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. And I invite you to join me once more in the vibration of Om.